In this video, we're going to explore the real reason that Yorinobu killed his father Saburo in Cyberpunk 2077. What may first look like a rash action by a resentful son actually runs a lot deeper than you may think. Keep watching to see it all. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. New year, new you, and a new faction has come to Raid Shadow Legends with a bunch of badass champions ready to join your team. The Sylvan Watchers are absolutely baller druids who honed their combat abilities in the dangerous forest of Mistwood. While trespassing on their homeland might get you killed, the Sylvan Watchers do allow outsiders in their city of Nyresa, where they've forged important alliances with the dwarves and Shadowkin. My favorite Sylvan Watchers are Elva Autumnborn, the legendary support champion with great healing and speed abilities that make her unstoppable in clan boss fights. Green Warden Ruark is a real tank of a man who cut his teeth in the Doom Tower. Just look at that awesome armor. I want to wear that. And finally, White Dryad Naya has the perfect kit for clan boss fights and the arena with her powerful Riotous Revival ability. Christmas may be behind us, but you can still celebrate the holidays with 12 days of Raid. From now until January 10th, you have a chance to win in-game prizes and even Amazon gift cards by downloading Raid Shadow Legends, then going to the link listed on screen and entering your player ID. Existing Raid players head to 12daysofraid.plarium.com, where you can find a special holiday promo code that everyone can use for a small festive gift. But the biggest gift of all is Raid's newest legendary champion, MMA star Ronda Rousey. You can get Ronda on your team right now for free just by logging in for 7 days between now and February 20th. Use promo code RAIDRONDA to get a special bundle of resources to strengthen your champions. This is the best time to dive into the world of Teleria and start building your team of champions. Download Raid Shadow Legends by using my link in the description or scanning the QR code. For the next 30 days, new players can unlock the free epic champion Chonaru, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, 1 XP boost, and 1 epic skill tome. Big shout out to Raid Shadow Legends for sponsoring this video. Yorinobu's patricide of Saburo Arasaka is a major turning point in the story of Cyberpunk 2077. It leads to Jackie and V getting caught during the heist and sets up the events of the rest of the game. We know that Yorinobu and Saburo had a troubled relationship, so the young Arasaka's murderous actions at first seem like an impulse born out of rage at his father's disrespectful comments. But Yorinobu's actions may have simply been a last-ditch effort to save his own life. To substantiate this theory, though, we'll need to explore their backstories further. If we pursue the devil's ending, we learn the full scope of Saburo Arasaka's plans to extend his own life. He essentially wanted to pursue immortality, hence his obsession with the Soul Killer and the development of the relic. Through this technology, Saburo could have his personality and memories digitized on an engram and installed into a new organic body when his original body inevitably failed. We know that Saburo's engram was successfully created and is currently stored in the vault of Arasaka Tower. However, the development of this technology was not a smooth process, as we learned from Anders Hellman. A big problem with the relic is compatibility with a new organic host. One could not simply install a digital engram into a fresh body. The organic body would reject the engram as something akin to a virus, which would lead to a whole host of health issues. However, if you could install an engram into a body with compatible DNA, such as your own child, then this issue of incompatibility would be overcome.
We will create an engram of your mind and store it in Mikoshi.
Store it? Why can't I just get a new body?
We have yet to solve the compatibility issue.
Doesn't sound like you had much of a problem with Saburo Arasaka.
You have no offspring, nor do you have an entire clinic focused solely on your care.
Saburo was deeply involved in the development of the relic, and certainly knew about the technical limitations of securing him a new body all the way back in the 2020s when Arasaka first started working on Soul Killer. So, what if Saburo's reason for having children was solely to create a suitable host body for him to take over in the future? After all, this is precisely what happens to Yorinobu in The Devil's Ending. Hanako Arasaka often mentioned that the biggest problem with Yorinobu was that he didn't know his own place in the world.
Besides, Takamura said you were supposed to step in for Yorinobu here in Night City.
Everyone must know their place, V. That is a fact my brother has never understood. I know my place, and I have no wish to change it.
I always thought this comment just meant that Yorinobu couldn't bear to accept submission to his father, the patriarch of the Arasaka family. But given what we know about Saburo's plans for immortality, these comments could be interpreted as Yorinobu was unwilling to come to terms with his true purpose. He exists solely to provide his father with a suitable body to inhabit in the future. I can't help but think of Dragon Age Origins and the relationship between Flemeth and Morrigan in that game. Flemeth is a mysterious and legendary being in Dragon Age, with stories about her life and exploits stretching back for generations. Yet not even her daughter Morrigan knows her true identity or her plans. During your exploration of the Circle Tower, you can discover Flemeth's Grimoire, a magical book containing some of her secrets. You uncover that Flemeth has managed to extend her own life by taking over the bodies of her daughters, a process that she has repeated countless times throughout history. Morrigan, discovering that her role in the world is simply to serve as a vessel for Flemeth, decides to take matters into her own hands and asks you to help kill her mother. I believe that Yorinobu went through a similar arc in his own life. He most likely discovered, either through eavesdropping or directly from his father, that his duty and purpose in life was to serve as a vessel to house his father's engram. It's only natural that this revelation would drive him to despair, resentment, rebelliousness, and ultimately create a steel will to survive. Yorinobu first left the family and started his own gang, the Steel Dragons. This was not just an act of rebellion, but an attempt to create a new life for himself where he could escape his fate of becoming Saburo's vessel. But it's unlikely that he was able to cut it in the world of organized crime, and eventually decided to return to the family. Perhaps he thought he could reason with his father and convince him to spare his life, to try and find another means to immortality that wouldn't involve sacrificing his only surviving son. When we confront Yorinobu in Arasaka Tower, he does say that he tried everything.
What would I try? I have tried everything. Nothing else remains.
This... you won't need.
Just one bullet left. It's not for you. These people had a chance today, but they lost it.
A chance? A chance for what?
To forget their fear.
This how you want to help people forget their fear? By killing them. Sorry. Just don't get it.
Fear. Ever since I can remember, the one thing I cannot deny him. He knew how to cause fear in people.
Saburo.
He once told me anything of value is only a flag blowing in wind, and wind is fear. And then, you know what he did? Blew in my face. That was the one time he was wrong. And others? It worked on them. They feared him. Even now, you saw. Idiots terrified of a dead man talking from a box. Pathetic. I would change that. If only you did not appear.
You're even worse than him. Saburo ruled with an iron fist, but he didn't need a purge to hold on to power.
Power? You You think I wanted power? 50 years ago, terrorists blew this building into smoke.
Yeah, so I heard.
And? What did it give us?
Not much.
Nothing. But I learned a lesson. If planting bombs not enough, what can you do? You become bomb.
When Yorinobu realized that he couldn't convince his father to spare his life, he decided to take matters into his own hands again, hatching a plan to steal the Silver Hand relic. The heist would serve two purposes: stick a spoke in the wheel of his father's research, and provide him with the funds required to make a clean break with his family. But of course, Saburo found out that Yorinobu stole the biochip, so he flew to Night City to confront his son. At this point, Yorinobu realized that his plans were doomed, but he seized the opportunity of having his father alone to strike, killing Saburo in an attempt to save his own life. But he couldn't simply stop there. His father may have been dead, but there was still the issue of his engram, which of course his sister Hanako was aware of. So long as the engram and anybody who knew about it were still alive, Yorinobu's life would still be in danger. If he allowed Hanako to live, she could stage a coup against him and potentially install her father's engram into his body. We know this is a viable concern because this is exactly what happened in The Devil's Ending. I don't necessarily think Yorinobu was a good guy by any stretch of the imagination, but was he simply ruthless and psychopathic? Or were his actions driven by a will to survive? So there you have it. The real reason Yorinobu killed Saburo in Cyberpunk 2077. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to Big Dad Gaming for more Cyberpunk and RPG videos. Big shout out to all the channel members for supporting my content. Until next time, this has been Big Dan. I should go.